So you want to study in Munich? Here's how it could look like. So if you decide to come here, you can expect to live for as long as you want to study, or even more if you like it that much, to live in one of the greenest and cleanest cities in Germany and also Europe, I could say. Munich is surrounded by a lot of huge, beautiful green parks and lakes that are perfect for a Sunday relaxing afternoon, for a walk after work or after school or after a library study session. And it's so beautiful because parks are always filled with so many students, especially in summer, playing volleyball, football, spikeball and whatever they like. Even playing beer pong in the parks is super popular here. And you can feel the vibe of the city full of youth and students, especially now after this complicated few years passed. So you can expect a lot of freedom and happy vibes all around the city. Another interesting fact about being a student in Munich that actually very few people know about, and I say this because I get so many questions regarding this topic, and the fact is that you can survive in Munich without knowing German. You can survive in Munich just speaking English. And of course it's a plus if you know German, and it's very good if you start learning it a little bit before, or if you start learning it while you're here. But for the beginning, you can survive without speaking German. And that is, I think, comforting for most of you out there that don't really know if they should come here because they don't know any German and their master's is in English, because most of the master degrees here are in English. So here's your motivation if that's why you're thinking about whether you should come or not. Not knowing German can, of course, sometimes cause some issues when you, for example, have a problem in the house, something is not working right, and you want to call someone to repair it for you, but you cannot really explain what the problem is, and if that person doesn't speak German, and if that person doesn't speak English, then it can become a little bit complicated. Or I don't know, if you're at a mini market or somewhere where people don't really speak English, or in the bus or in the tram or in the train, it can become a problem. But luckily we live in a world where you can Google everything, you can translate everything within seconds, so it shouldn't be a problem in the end. Another wonderful thing is the number of beautiful, amazing libraries you have access to being a TUM or LMU student. Both universities, the TUM University and the LMU University, have libraries all across the city, but especially the LMU libraries are spread across the city center, and depending on where you have your lectures in, you can go to that university if, for example, you have a gap of 2 hours between two lectures, or if you're on a Saturday and you want to study for your exams, or you just want to read something. You have access to that library and to all the other libraries, regardless of what your field of study is. So if you're interested in many topics apart from the one you're studying, that's a really, really good opportunity to go and read about something else, and also to experience the ambience of those beautiful libraries. Another very well-known fact that you most certainly heard about is that Munich is a super expensive city, unfortunately, and the financial problem can really become a serious one if you're thinking about how you're gonna support yourself here. And in this context, I just want to talk a little bit about the student dorms, because most people think that they're gonna come here and either the university is gonna provide them with a place to stay, like a student dorm, or they're gonna find something on their own. But the problem is that while these two are very viable options in most of the cities, in Munich it's kind of hard to find either of the options, because the student dorms offered by the university and offered by Studentenwerk are full and are gonna be full for the next 3 or 4 or 5 semesters, and there are waiting lists of at least 4 or 5 semesters for these dorms. And the other dorms are the private dorms, which are very expensive. I would say, I'm not 100% sure, but I would say that the rent in a private dorm could start in 2022 at 700 euros. When I came here, it was a little bit lower, but each year the prices are getting higher and higher. So I would advise really searching a little bit before you enroll here to make sure that you can support yourself. And while almost all of these facts paint a beautiful picture of Munich, we also have to be realistic. So if you've heard about the LMU University and the TUM University in Munich, it's because they are well known in Germany, in Europe, and all around the world actually. And this is for a reason, but that also comes at a price. The expectations are pretty high here, and you really have to be prepared to study a lot, to work hard and smart, and to sometimes miss out on parties if you want to live up to those expectations. And the truth is, you need to live up to those expectations if you want to graduate from one of these two universities. So the student life here can be amazing if you can make time for this in your life. And sometimes it can be pretty hard coming from a different cultural background to adapt to this style and also find a very good balance between your work, social and study life. So it could be a really good idea to work a little bit towards becoming a more organized person, and most importantly to keep in mind that at times it can become pretty hard and stressful, and you need to learn to work past that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope this was helpful, and if you can think about other helpful tips or facts about being a student in Munich that you could share with your future colleagues, make sure to leave them in the comment section down below. See you next time. Bye!